Morning, morning, morning. We did it. We did it. We read our 100th book. We picked The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I went into this completely blind. I knew that it was a good book, knew that it was a bestseller, knew that people had said it was the year's best sci-fi or high fantasy, knew it was loosely based in like imperial dystopian China. But man, didn't know a whole lot about it going into it. Let me begin with I liked the book, because I'm going to have some critiques that might make you think I didn't like the book. I liked the book. Thought it was good. It was obviously well written, thought out, cohesive. The characters maybe make you care about them. I liked the book. It wasn't for me. I am not the audience I feel like it was written for. I feel like my husband would love this book. Just, it wasn't for me. That doesn't disappoint me. That doesn't make me mad. Doesn't make me wish I hadn't read it. Definitely doesn't make me wish I hadn't read it, because it was a good book. And I'm so glad that I read it. Just means it wasn't my shtick. It wasn't my niche. It wasn't exactly what I like to read. And that's okay. So you start out, and your main character, which is Rin. Her name is like Fang Rin, but she just goes by Rin. She is a foster kid. She's not treated very well, and she convinces this tutor in her really small little area, town, whatever, to tutor her for this big test. And this big test is basically to get into like the different universities. But the thing is, she can only get into one university because she doesn't have any money to pay for university. So the only one, sorry, I'm trying to, there it is, the word, trying to remember some of these names and words. The only university that is free is the Military General University. And you have to score at the absolute highest, the top. You have to have the best score to go to the synagogue. And that is what Rin wants. And Rin is very smart, and she studies hard, and she literally like burns herself to stay awake. And she does it. She stays awake. She gets the highest score in her area, and she gets into the synagogue. So she goes to this capital city, and goes to this general military academy. And you meet a host of characters there. I love the teachers, the students, all of the characters. Up to this point, I'm 100% in this book. It is adult Harry Potter. Like, I'm really loving this book. I loved her whole time before the academy and at the synagogue. Excellent. It's a little bit more military strategy than I would have liked, but still, the first half of the book is excellently done. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, the best way to describe it is if you have read, obviously Harry Potter, but also Patrick Rothfuss, what's the name of the book? The Name of the Wind. Okay, so that very much adult academia, even though they're not technically adults in this book, they're like still youngish, in their late teens, I believe, like 17s, 18s, things like that. It doesn't matter, like, they're dealing with very adult things, fighting to the death and things like that. So, up to the synagogue, absolutely love this book. Fantastic. Spoiler alert for the whole book, okay? War breaks out, and now these students are to be in the military in the different branches that they have there, and it just kind of gets very military towards the end, very strategic. You still have some of your characters you loved weaved in and out, so that's good. That's good. Because I did begin to care about these characters, so most of them don't make it through the book. But it was a really good book, and like I said, it wasn't for me with all of the military strategy and like past wars and all of that, but it was good enough that I definitely finished it in like 3 days, and I still gave it 4 stars. It was that well done. It's obviously beautifully written, and it does come from real, in the back here with an interview with the author, R.F. Kuang, who has written other stuff that I may read as well. She talks about how she takes bits from this book from a terrible scene in, give me a second because it's really interesting. Here we go. There is a thing in Golanese in the book that comes like directly from something that happened during World War II in Sino-Japanese relations, and it's called the Rape of the Nanjing. So if you know your Chinese history and things like that, a lot of this stuff comes straight from like things that happened in World War II in China. R.F. Kuang's a very educated woman. She studied Imperial China all the way through like World War II and things like that. Just a really, really well written book. Honestly, excellently written. Even though it wasn't, that tells you how good it was written. Even though it wasn't the subject matter for me, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. So, where do we go from here? We've read 100 books, guys. We're just going to keep on reading. I'm not setting another goal, necessarily. Let me reach and grab my coffee. Ooh, squeaky chair. Cheers, by the way. Good morning. Okay, I'm not setting another goal, per se, because I only have 2 months left, and I don't want to set myself up and say 150 or 125 and fall short of it, like, because I've done so much this year. I don't want to set another goal. Anything that we read over this 100, I'm happy about. I may slack off on reading for the last 2 months a little bit, and maybe try to catch up on some shows or something, but I really don't feel like I'm missing a lot when it comes to television right now. I'm still watching what I really want to watch. Every Friday night I watch The Great British Bake Off. Love that. My husband and I just finished Tales of the Jedi. That was really excellent. I still feel like I'm watching sporadic couple of shows that I do want to watch. I'm just not like binging television. And I definitely know I'm not missing anything on social media. Okay? But yeah. Cheers, you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and here's to some happy reading.